Welcome to this audiobook, where you will discover the habits that transform your speaking, make your communication more confident, clear, and persuasive, and help you connect with people effortlessly. Many people assume that speaking clearly is just about pronunciation or vocabulary, but the truth is far deeper. It starts with mindset and self. Before you can communicate effectively, you must first understand how you currently speak, how your thoughts translate into words, and what patterns may create confusion or weaken your message. Self-awareness allows you to identify habits that hinder clarity, whether it's filler words, rambling, unclear structure, or a lack of confidence. Recognizing these patterns is the first step toward improvement because you cannot fix what you cannot see. The mindset of a clear speaker is one of deliberate intention. Every word, phrase, and sentence should serve a purpose. High performers in communication do not speak randomly. They choose words and structures carefully to convey meaning, evoke emotion, and guide understanding. This habit begins with preparation, knowing what you want to communicate, the key points you want to make, and how you want your audience to respond. Even in casual conversation, a clear mental roadmap ensures that your message is coherent and easily understood. People who speak clearly do not rely on luck or improvisation alone. They practice intentional communication. Confidence is a core component of clear speaking. Uncertainty or self-doubt manifests in speech as hesitations, filler words like and ah, and unclear phrasing. To build confidence, start by practicing small, structured statements about topics you know well. Record yourself, observe your pacing, and notice patterns that make your message weaker. By gradually building confidence in low-stakes situations, you create a strong foundation for speaking clearly in higher-stakes contexts, such as presentations, meetings, or networking. Clear speakers project authority without arrogance, creating an aura of trust and credibility. Another foundational habit is active listening. You cannot speak clearly if you are not fully present and attentive to the conversation. Listening allows you to respond appropriately, structure your thoughts, and address the needs or concerns of your audience. This habit ensures that your words are relevant, concise, and impactful. Clear speakers often repeat or reframe points to ensure understanding, using simple language to translate complex ideas. Active listening also builds rapport, which makes your message more persuasive and easier to digest. Finally, self-awareness also involves understanding your natural speaking patterns. Pay attention to your tone, rhythm, volume, and pacing. Are you too fast, leaving people behind? Too slow, causing boredom? Do your sentences meander, making it hard to follow your point? Understanding these habits allows you to correct them intentionally. Clear speaking is not just about articulation. It is about creating a mental and emotional path for your listener to follow. When mindset, confidence, and awareness are aligned, you create a solid foundation upon which all other habits of clear speaking can build, setting the stage for transformative communication that engages, persuades, and resonates. Part 2: Structure and Clarity. Organizing your message. After establishing the mindset and self-awareness necessary for clear speaking, the next step is creating structure and clarity in your communication. One of the biggest mistakes people make is speaking in a disorganized manner, which confuses listeners and weakens the impact of their message. Clear speakers use structure as a roadmap for their thoughts, ensuring that every sentence flows logically and contributes to the overall point. The habit of structuring your speech begins with identifying the main message you want to convey. Every word and sentence should serve that message. By clearly defining your goal before speaking, you eliminate unnecessary tangents and provide your audience with a coherent, easy-to-follow path. Breaking ideas into digestible segments is crucial for comprehension. Use short, simple sentences to communicate complex ideas and group related points together. This habit allows your listener to absorb information step by step without feeling overwhelmed. High performers often use a headline, support, example structure. Start with the main idea, explain it, and provide an illustrative example. This pattern not only clarifies your point, but also makes your communication more engaging and memorable. Audiences are more likely to understand and retain your message when it follows a predictable and logical structure. Eliminating filler words and unnecessary repetition is another essential habit. Words like, or actually often creep into speech unconsciously and create the impression of uncertainty. Clear speakers develop the habit of pausing briefly instead of filling gaps with meaningless words. Silence is a tool, not a flaw. It allows you to gather your thoughts and gives the listener time to process information. Repetition should be intentional. Used to reinforce key points rather than fill time. This discipline dramatically improves clarity and confidence, making your speech more authoritative and easier to follow. Another critical habit is tailoring your language to your audience. Effective speakers adjust their vocabulary, tone, and phrasing depending on who they are addressing. Using technical jargon with someone unfamiliar with the topic creates confusion, while oversimplifying for experts can seem condescending. Understanding your listener's perspective and framing your message in their context ensures that your communication is received as intended. This habit requires observation, empathy, and practice, but it pays enormous dividends in clarity and persuasiveness. Every audience is unique, and every message should be tailored to maximize understanding and impact. Finally, clarity requires active feedback and reflection. A habit of asking questions or observing reactions ensures that your audience is following along and comprehending your points. Nonverbal cues, like nods, facial expressions, or engagement levels, can reveal whether your message is landing. If confusion is detected, a clear speaker adjusts on the fly, rephrasing or summarizing key points for better understanding. Reflection, after speaking, analyzing what worked, what didn't, and how to improve, reinforces the habit of continuous improvement. Over time, these practices strengthen your ability to organize thoughts, communicate concisely, and ensure that every message is understood as intended. By cultivating habits of structure, clarity, audience awareness, and feedback, you create communication that is precise, engaging, and authoritative. This foundation ensures that your speech is not only heard, but also understood and remembered, paving the way for mastery in the remaining habits that enhance articulation, confidence, and influence. Part 3. Voice, pace, and expressive delivery, making every word count. Once you have mastered mindset, self-awareness, and structure, the next step in speaking clearly is learning how to use your voice and pacing to engage listeners and ensure that your message lands as intended. Voice is one of the most powerful tools in communication. It conveys confidence, emotion, and authority, even before your words are fully processed. Many people underestimate the importance of vocal delivery. Speaking in a monotone or rushing through sentences, which diminishes clarity and makes even strong ideas less persuasive. Developing control over your voice allows you to emphasize key points, create rhythm, and make your speech more dynamic and memorable. Pacing is equally critical. Speaking it quickly overwhelms listeners and can make your message confusing, while speaking too slowly risks boredom and disengagement. The habit of pacing your speech involves practicing natural pauses, slowing down at important points, and accelerating slightly to maintain energy when appropriate. Pauses serve multiple purposes. They give you time to think, allow listeners to absorb information, and create anticipation for key ideas. Mastering the rhythm of speech makes your communication feel deliberate, controlled, and professional. It also signals confidence. The ability to control timing demonstrates authority and composure. Tone modulation is another habit of clear speakers. The tone you use conveys emotion, intent, and emphasis. A flat or emotionless tone makes speech dull, while varied tone captures attention and strengthens engagement. By adjusting pitch, volume, and inflection, you can highlight critical points, express enthusiasm, or convey urgency. High performers practice varying their tone to suit different contexts, whether presenting to a team, delivering a speech, or in casual conversation. Expressive delivery reinforces meaning and helps listeners internalize your message without effort, making it both persuasive and memorable. Articulation is a further component of expressive delivery. Clear pronunciation ensures that every word is understood and reduces the likelihood of misinterpretation. Speakers who articulate carefully, without mumbling or slurring, demonstrate respect for their audience and create stronger connections. Articulation also enhances the perception of intelligence, professionalism, and authority. Combining careful pronunciation with controlled pacing and tone creates a polished, impactful communication style that commands attention and ensures comprehension. Finally, expressive delivery involves connecting with emotion and authenticity. Words alone are not enough. Your speech must convey genuine intent, empathy, and conviction. Storytelling, analogies, and examples delivered with enthusiasm and engagement make complex ideas relatable and easier to remember. When your voice, pacing, and expression align with your message, listeners feel drawn in, trust your expertise, and respond positively. Developing this habit requires consistent practice, reading aloud, recording yourself, and experimenting with tone and pacing are practical steps to mastery. Over time, expressive delivery becomes second nature, allowing you to communicate clearly, persuasively, and confidently in any setting. By cultivating habits of voice control, pacing, tone, modulation, articulation, and expressive authenticity, you transform speech from mere words into an engaging, memorable, and impactful experience. This mastery ensures that your audience not only hears your message, but also understands, feels, and remembers it, setting the stage for the remaining habits that perfect clarity and communication influence. Part 4. Eliminating filler words, building confidence, and refining articulation. After mastering voice, pacing, and expressive delivery, the next habit for clearer speaking involves eliminating filler words and unnecessary verbal clutter. Filler words like and actually are small, seemingly harmless habits that can undermine clarity, authority, and listener engagement. Every filler interrupts the flow of communication, making your speech appear uncertain or unprepared. Clear speakers develop the habit of pausing briefly instead of filling gaps with meaningless words. These pauses allow time to think, organize thoughts, and create emphasis naturally. Silence is a tool, not a flaw. It signals thoughtfulness and confidence, making your communication more compelling and easier to follow. Building confidence is another critical habit that directly impacts clarity. Nervousness, self-doubt, or fear of judgment often manifests in hesitant speech, uneben passing, or overuse of fillers. Confidence is built gradually through preparation, practice, and experience. Preparing talking points, rehearsing difficult phrases, and practicing in low-pressure settings helps internalize clarity and ease. Additionally, visualizing successful conversations and affirming your ability to communicate effectively reinforces self-confident. Speakers not only articulate better, but also command attention, maintain engagement, and influence perception positively. Confidence transforms the way your message is received, ensuring that your audience takes your words seriously and understands them clearly. Articulation refinement goes hand in hand with confidence. Proper pronunciation, careful enunciation, and clarity of vowels and consonants make speech intelligible and impactful. Many people neglect articulation, assuming it is innate, but even small adjustments can dramatically improve clarity. Practicing tongue twisters, reading aloud, and consciously slowing down difficult words can enhance precision. High performers also focus on connecting words smoothly, without slurring or rushing, which creates a natural, fluid, and professional delivery. Articulation not only ensures comprehension but also conveys intelligence, attention to detail, and professionalism, enhancing credibility in every interaction. Another aspect of refining articulation and eliminating clutter is rhythm and sentence structure. Clear speakers are intentional about sentence length, breaking complex ideas into manageable phrases that are easy to process. They use repetition strategically to emphasize key points, rather than as a filler. Structuring sentences in a simple, logical sequence reinforces understanding and prevents listener fatigue. Practicing this habit requires awareness of speech patterns and deliberate adjustments over time. But the payoff is communication that is smooth, precise, and persuasive. Combined with voice modulation, pauses, and confidence, rhythm, and structure, amplify the clarity and impact of your words. Finally, consistent practice and reflection solidify these habits. Record yourself speaking, analyze patterns of filler words, evaluate pacing, and refine articulation. Solicit feedback from trusted peers or mentors, and integrate constructive insights into your routine. Over time, these deliberate efforts develop automaticity, allowing you to speak clearly and confidently without conscious effort. By eliminating verbal clutter, building confidence, and refining articulation, you create communication that is powerful, memorable, and effective. These skills not only make your message heard, but ensure it is understood, respected, and remembered, paving the way for mastery of the final habit, engaging and persuasive connection with your audience. Part 5. Engaging connection, storytelling, and taking action. After mastering mindset, structure, voice, pacing, and articulation, the final habit for clear speaking is creating an engaging and persuasive connection with your audience. Clear speaking is not just about being understood, it's about being memorable, relatable, and inspiring action. Engagement starts with empathy, understanding the perspective, needs, and emotional state of your listener. When you speak with awareness of how your words impact others, you create a natural bridge between your message and their experience. This connection ensures that your communication resonates, encourages active listening, and leaves a lasting impression. Storytelling is a powerful tool in building this connection. Humans are wired to remember stories far more than facts or abstract ideas. Incorporating personal anecdotes, analogies, or illustrative examples transforms your speech from a collection of words into a narrative that captivates and educates. Stories also make complex concepts accessible, emotionally compelling, and easy to recall. By developing the habit of weaving stories into your communication, you make your point stick and ensure that your audience not only understands but feels the essence of your message. This habit enhances clarity and influence simultaneously. Active engagement is another essential component. Asking questions, inviting feedback, and observing nonverbal cues ensures that your audience is following along and processing information. High performers adapt dynamically, clarifying points or emphasizing key ideas in response to reactions. This habit creates an interactive flow that maintains attention and reinforces comprehension. Clear speakers do not assume understanding, they confirm it, continuously adjusting delivery to meet the listener's needs. The more actively engaged your audience is, the more impactful and memorable your communication becomes. Confidence, combined with connection, amplifies influence. When you speak clearly, with deliberate structure, expressive delivery, and a genuine focus on your audience, people trust you, listen attentively, and are more likely to respond positively. Confidence communicates authority, while connection communicates authenticity. Together, they create a communication style that is not only clear but persuasive, professional, and compelling. Mastering this habit requires consistent practice, observation, and refinement. But the results are transformative. Your words become tools for influence, understanding, and inspiration. Finally, if you are ready to take your speaking to the next level, it is a time to act. Subscribe to this channel to continue learning strategies that enhance communication. Like this video to reinforce your commitment to improvement. Comment below with your key takeaways or progress, and share this audiobook with someone who wants to become a more confident, clear speaker. Remember, mastering communication is a journey of deliberate practice, self-awareness, and connection. By integrating all 9 habits: mindset, self-awareness, structure, clarity, voice, pacing, articulation, confidence, and engagement, you position yourself to speak with authority, influence, and impact in every interaction. Start today, commit to consistent practice, and watch as your ability to communicate clearly, persuasively, and memorably transforms your personal and professional life. If this audiobook has helped you discover the 9 habits that can make your speaking clearer, more confident, and more persuasive, don't let that learning stop here. Every insight you've gained is only as powerful as the actions you take to implement it in your life. Don't forget to subscribe to my audiobook channel to get weekly lessons that improve your communication, boost your confidence, and help you articulate your thoughts like never before. By subscribing, you're joining a community of learners dedicated to mastering the art of clear, impactful, and confident speaking. Like this video to show your commitment to practicing these habits daily. Every like is more than support. It's a promise to yourself that you are taking steps to improve your communication skills and stand out from the crowd. Comment below. Share which habit you found most useful or which one you plan to implement first. Your experience can inspire others in our audiobook community to practice these habits and enhance their own speaking abilities. Share this audiobook with someone who wants to speak with clarity, confidence, and influence. One shared lesson can change the way someone expresses themselves and helps them communicate effectively in any situation. Remember, clear and confident speaking compounds over time. Each habit you practice builds momentum that transforms your communication, your influence, and your personal and professional life. Commit now. Apply these habits consistently, and watch your speaking skills rise above 99% of people. The journey to clearer, more confident speaking starts today. Don't forget to subscribe to my audiobook channel, like, comment, and share this audio. Let these lessons guide you to communicate with clarity, confidence, and impact every day.